Hey everyone, it's Philka here from Our Films. Welcome, thank you for tuning in. It's been a very unusual month. Happy Halloween. Halloween this year, I have never seen anything like it. There's been people that have been kicking off about Halloween kills, Halloween ends. I don't particularly blame them. I don't know what on earth the filmmakers were thinking, but it just does not look like a Halloween franchise film. Jeepers Creepers Reborn, don't have a clue what the hell they've done with that. I could not get into it. Hocus Pocus 2, I'm a massive Hocus Pocus fan of the original film. The sequel, however, looked like a parody. Was not impressed, was not amused by it. And when you obviously say these comments on social media, you've got the cancel culture that comes out to attack you, or you just being negative. Well, no, it's not about being negative. It's called having an opinion. It's called not following the crowd, not following the sheep. I know you guys like to obviously group together, go out shouting that people are negative, but you're probably the most negative people and insecure people out there because people are allowed to have an opinion. And quite frankly, Hocus Pocus 2 wasn't that good. Why am I saying this the way I am? We've come to a crossroads with film distribution and demand, I think, personally. You've got film studios knocking these films out left, right, and centre without actually thinking who are they actually doing the films for, who's the target audience, because when you've got original millennial fans asking for more films within the franchise and the studios deliver, but they only deliver for the new generation, that's not being respectful to your fan base, and you're going to alienate a lot of your fan base. It doesn't work like that. When I seen Hocus Pocus 2, I was embarrassed for how silly half of it looked. I just watched it all, but there was no nostalgia to it. I didn't feel a connection to the original film. I thought, you've overlooked this, you've cancelled that out, you haven't bothered to mention this. And this wasn't the film that I personally would be recommending to anyone. I'd recommend Hocus Pocus, the first one. Would not. Sequel, no. Then obviously you've got, I said, the Halloween franchise. I accepted that for what it was. I didn't really have hype to watch it, but I wanted to watch it just to obviously put it to rest to see what it was about. I know there's a lot of people out there that are upset about it. And I know there's petitions online circulating to have it completely reshot or the ending changed. And then you've got the Scream franchise. They've took Nev Campbell out of the equation now. And when you take a step back and you think about all this, it does beg the question, are the studios just trying to alienate fans of the original films by only making happy the new generation and cancel culture? Because if that's what you're doing, you're making very, very soft, boring films that will eventually just. Ugh. I have never known a time like this before. As I said, it's been a very unusual Halloween. I've never seen such uproar, such hatred from fans that genuinely wanted just to have that nostalgia feeling back. And when the studios have brought out what they've brought out, oh, you're kicking your fans in the teeth. And yeah, obviously, yeah, with producing and with generations after generations, you've got to obviously reboot stuff and remake it, but you show respect to the original film. They're not doing that at the moment, and it's really causing mixed feelings with a lot of film fans, including myself, because the question we ask ourselves is, if you're doing this now with films we've been asking for a follow-up for years, how do we know to even bother asking for a follow-up for a brand new film? Take into account what you're already doing to the cult classic films. You're making sequels or follow-on films in general that just they're not on the same wavelength as the original. They don't even look right, but because you're trying to keep the new generation happy and cancel culture fans happy, you're playing it that way. And then when those films are released, yeah, you're making a lot of money from them. But then that gets people like me thinking, right, okay. So I'll take a random film now, for example. So Ambulance with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's not a horror, it's a psychological thriller from what I can see. I thought that was a really good film. Does it deserve a sequel? Does it need one? Would I say no to seeing a sequel? No, I wouldn't. If Ambulance 2 came out, I'd watch it. Another example, Fall, about the women on the tower. Really good film. My hands were sweating. I have never known my hands to sweat so much with anxiety in all my life. When I seen the ending, did I want another film? Of course. I enjoyed it. But because the way Hollywood is working, if we were to ask for a follow-up, what's to say they're not going to just say, right, okay then, well, we've got a new generation of fans over here, and then we've got the cancel culture next to them. We want to keep them happy because they give us all the money. Okay then, you do that. And then people like myself won't even bother to ask for a follow-up film. And then what will you do? Oh, well, why are we losing this audience over here? Because this audience here, the millennials that asked for a follow-up for years and years and years, you give us one, but you didn't give us one. You give us a film that was meant for a different audience generation, but you've just done it to keep us happy. But the real issue is you're not making us happy, you're just annoying us because the film was actually made for somebody else. And when you look at it from that perspective, is there any point in those guys asking for a sequel anymore? Is there any point in asking for a follow-up film? Because from the looks of it, you're just pleasing this new generation of film fans and cancel culture, who, half of them, they don't even know what the hell a real film is. When films were coming out in the 90s, they were brilliant. As the years have gone on, they were cool. And then in the last 5 years or so, Karens, snowflakes, nanny state policing, or easily offended, you can't say this, you can't say that, get a petition going up and all this and that. It's like, what the hell is going on in the world? Make films good again. Don't make them just to please some new kids screaming, we want a new film made. Because those kids were not present when the originals came out, 9 times out of 10. And if you're going to not work in that manner, you're not going to have loyal fans. You're going to have people who just like to exaggerate a film as being good when it's not actually that good. Another quick example, Fright Night, the original film, brilliant film, absolutely brilliant. When they brought the remake out with Colin in it and Tony Collette, it was alright. Did it match up to the sequel? No. Sorry, did it match up to the original? No. Was it a good sequel? It was alright. Have I seen it a few times? A couple of times, yeah. Would I prefer the original? Absolutely. And that's another film franchise that people are divided over. People attack the original saying, oh, it's rubbish, it's outdated. If it wasn't for the original film, you wouldn't have a sequel. And cancel culture love to deny that in a delusional way. I have actually seen quite a few people on Facebook deny that, to the point where you think, not being funny, you've got a screw loose. The film as a sequel would not have been made if it wasn't for the original film. And the studios just seem to completely overlook that. And this is the outcome. Arguments left, right and centre over Facebook and social media. Filmmakers arguing with film fans arguing with each other. Feels like a virtual Big Brother house online. And when you see all this unfolding, you kind of start thinking, you know what? What happened to nostalgia? What happened to, reliving good memories? It just makes you doubt a few things. And on that note, again, happy Halloween, everyone. Take it easy. Do keep yourself safe. And if you haven't already, please head over to my YouTube channel where you will see The Devil Comes Calling. A lot of effort and hard work went into that film with a fantastic casting crew. It was hit with delays because of COVID, but it is now available, and I hope you head over there and enjoy it. Thanks very much. Cheers now.